Welcome to another episode of the Beyond the Fence podcast with your hosts, Coach RAC, Chris, and Mike. We got Natasha Bedingfield's second studio album.
Let's go. Savannah Banana, Coach RAC.
I think there's no copyright rule as long as it's under a minute, so I think that's fair game.
Perfect. So we're all here for the first time with Coach RAC in Savannah at spring training for the Bananas, right? And he is in a absolute winter coat.
He looks cold.
With a hoodie on.
Dude, my heater was working up until about like 20 minutes ago. It just shut off. I don't know if it thinks it's done its job. It has not. It is still cold over here. Anything under 60 makes me break out the jacket. So
60 degrees in the morning is absolutely freezing.
And I think there's a cold front coming through, and they're talking about it's going to be getting down to like the 30s here.
It's always funny because you start to see all the memes come through from like iguanas that are tipping over and falling off the trees.
No, there's like literally like they could go on the news and they have like an iguana falling alert,
a warning.
Yeah, like hey, just know if it's under 40, these things are going to fall out of the trees. People actually take them though and eat them.
Really?
Apparently, they taste like chicken.
Yeah, there's zero shot I'm touching an iguana, bro.
I mean, I don't know if you've realized this. Everything that's like an animal you shouldn't eat, everybody's like, oh, it tastes like chicken.
Everything tastes like chicken if it's cooked dark enough.
A gator, chicken. Shark, chicken.
Gators do not taste like chicken.
Gators don't taste like chicken.
They are good, though, but they do not taste like chicken.
Oh, Rock, you got us up at 7:30 a.m., starting a podcast. We are wide awake. You look sleepy. What's going on at practice? Because obviously it's been probably, 3 or 4 days now that you've been at spring training?
Yeah. So 3 days so far. We've been getting to the field around 8 or 9:30-ish, and then we're there till 6:30-ish. So we got full days of stuff. Compared to a normal spring training, it's a lot more things, but probably the same amount of baseball training. But we got meetings all morning. There's the amount of dancing since last time I was in pro ball has gone up a lot.
You're going to start turning on MLB games and everybody are going to be dancing on the sideline.
And you shaved the beard off.
Yeah, I did. Now
we couldn't even get it for 2 episodes in a row.
I know, man. Well, that's because they were so spaced out, you know.
What happened is he grew it out just long enough that we could do a good clip that actually kind of did pretty well about the best beards in MLB. And listen, there's been a couple guys that were added to that list that we definitely forgot about. I don't know if anybody actually paid attention to the comments.
Oh, okay. I'm curious.
Brandon Marsh.
Okay, yeah.
Charlie Blackmon.
Ooh, Charlie Blackmon's good.
Blackmon, though, that's another one of those homeless looks, though.
Yeah, but it's not homeless if it's intentional.
It feels very Colorado.
It does. Give you that. Yeah, I'll give him that. It does feel Colorado.
That is a mountain man.
When you show up to spring training, obviously the majority of the Savannah Bananas fans seeing your intro video with all the new guys we thought was great. We were actually watching it this morning. That's obviously the music that we were listening to. But the overall perspective is you're a natural, my friend. And it's almost like you were meant to be a banana. So we're extremely happy for you. It's cool to watch. It's different when you actually know somebody on the team and you get to kind of get to know them prior to them going on the team. So you kind of understand your personality versus everybody else's personality on the team. So how does that kind of intertwine while you guys are on the field? And do you guys play off one another? Is it more choreographed or, what is the kind of daily while you guys are all hanging out? I'm sure you don't know everybody, but you're learning who people are and what their personalities are.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And yeah, as far as how we figure out the dances and stuff like that, I mean, they've got a whole creative team. It's they've got, I think, 150 people working for them and working full time. You got people making you walk in through the offices and it's these people are working on designing graphics. These people are editing videos. These people are responding to fans. There's just so many people doing so many things. And so when we did that video the other day for, the unwritten music video, one of the creative, directors comes up to us and is like, all right, so all the new guys come over here. Everyone else was taking batting practice. They pulled all of us aside. And they're like, all right, guys, so we got this dance for you. You're going to have to learn it. And so she showed us the dance, and at first we were terrible. Like we were not in sync at all. And in my head, I was like, oh shoot, like maybe I wasn't cut out for this. Like that was my gut reaction. But after about 15 minutes of just like trying over and over and over again, then we all kind of got in sync for that one little, dance part. And so then, after we practiced it for a little while and it looked good enough, then went out to the outfield and filmed it. And, but yeah, they got just a big team and
nailed it.
Yeah, come on. That's where, because they have such a big and talented team, it's like, as long as you're like generally competent, like they'll get you in the right place at the right time with regards to the dances and the things they have choreographed. But I'm curious how it works in a game, because it's that like times 10, I'm sure, in a game. So I'm sure it'll be tough to remember all that.
Then you got all the fans yelling and screaming, all the girls going, woo!
I mean, if we can get a RAC, though, showing up the umpire, because, when he starts twerking, maybe you should start twerking, too.
Yeah.
So do you have, like, your own signature dance that you guys all have, or how does that work?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. And that's where I got to figure out a little bit what some of my signature things will be. I think so much of what makes the Bananas successful is that the characters are allowed to be and encouraged to be big characters. So you got, Dakota Stilts, who's playing baseball in stilts. Obviously that's a huge character. You got Flash the Kid, who's super fast. And then you got, in the outfield, the guy who does the backflip catches. And then on the infield, you got Dalton, obviously, who you guys know and who does music. And then Jackson Olsen, who does TikTok as well. And so, and then the shortstop, the magician, so there's just a bunch of characters. And so they encourage you and actually they gave us little like notebooks so that we can write out, who our character should be and what our signature, moves should be, things that make us more identifiable. So that's kind of been a challenge for me the past couple days, is thinking through, okay, what do I want my quote unquote character to be like? Obviously the game itself, when you're playing baseball, it's still the same in the sense you're trying to get a base hit off of a pitcher and win that battle. But when it comes to all the extra stuff, the celebrations, that's where every player has to kind of define their own character.
I got it. Somebody in the Bananas needs to contact DreamWorks.
Oh, Jesus.
And we can have Bob Farquaad.
Yeah. Knew immediately the second you opened your mouth with an idea, I was like, I know what that is.
You could be the Banana Prince Charming, or at least the
I like that idea.
Ooh, Prince Charming of the Bananas?
The Prince Charming that
I like that.
The Prince Charming that wasn't supposed to be. Or
I think he got a bad rep in the movie, right? I really do. I think
you got to shave the mustache though if you're going to be.
Yeah, that's true. You guys got me thinking though about maybe the Prince of Bananaland. I don't know. That might be a thing.
Oh,
Prince of Bananaland.
It kind of works.
I could picture some pretty cool shirts with that.
Yeah,
interesting. So obviously it was a long ass ride from way out in the middle of California to Savannah. I mean, you went coast to coast. How many days did it take you to get there?
Dude, I left, so not yesterday, but Wednesday, what day was that? The 10th, I think. And left at like 6 a.m, drove to Albuquerque, New Mexico. And then the next day drove to Fort Smith, Arkansas. And then drove the next day to Atlanta. And then the next day I had a 3-hour drive into Savannah. So, dude, it was a trek. I'm used to it. The funny thing is, like, back when I was with the Nationals, I would, for spring training, I just sleep at rest stops, on the way back. Because, money wise, we didn't quite have too much money. So it was like, well, I could stay at a hotel, but I'm just going to rock at a rest stop. This time I was driving out and I'm like, you know what? I can afford a hotel this time. I think I'm going to do that. So definitely stayed at hotels on the way out, avoided the rest stops. It was much much more comfortable trip on the way out. But man, there's a lot of driving. I am happy though. My car it actually made it. As you guys know, and we maybe have talked about this before, but I drive like a 2001 Buick and I love that thing. But I wasn't sure it was going to make it across the country, but it did.
She's an old beater. She'll sit there forever, man. That thing,
she made it.
Buicks will last you forever, my friend. I'm telling you, that car, if you take care of it, it's probably like one of the most comfortable rides. It's like you're in like on a cloud as you're driving with this shot. Like I love Buicks. Can't afford one, but I love Buicks.
I mean,
so,
and you gave her shine because you took the picture out in the middle. It looked like you were in the desert.
Oh yeah, I was somewhere in Texas or something, I think.
Laying on the car. That's what I'm saying. Prince Charming of the Bananas.
It is. I'm starting to see it. I picture this whole thing. I think Mike just came up with your new character.
He might have, dude.
I mean, that's like Prince Charming of the Bananas right there. On a dirt road in a 1946 Buick.
It's a 2001, bro.
Laying on the hood.
Watertown, New York, which is pretty much my hometown, was on the national news again this morning.
That's different.
For how much snow they have coming down. And my buddy's like, I would play some of the videos that he sent me, but some of them aren't.
That one
for air.
Well, that one yesterday was great. I don't recommend do what he was doing.
Yeah,
but...
you definitely don't recommend doing what he was doing. So my boy, he's wild, man. I love this guy to death. He's one of my best friends ever since we were kids. And he's a big, burly dude. Big old beard, red hair. Nicest guy in the world, big teddy bear. But the stupid videos that this guy sends me, like he's driving down the road yesterday in an absolute snowstorm. And he's like, "You boys just don't have what it takes. That's why you moved away." And, he's like in the middle of a snowstorm walking around just smiling ear to ear. And I'm like, good thing weed's legal in New York.
Because it looked miserable.
Those people are like, "Yeah, you're not cut out for that. You can't, you weren't built for this. You're too sissy." I'm like, "Yeah, I am. I'm gonna go, sip a margarita in my 75-degree sun weather in the winter, in California."
I feel like Gregor's should be a Bills fan because he
he's a Cowboys fan, bro.
He embraces like the Bills Mafia thing.
He definitely embraces it. I mean, he's just an old country boy, like. I could give you some stories, but they're not good for air.
Like if you watch that game on Monday, like the fact that there's people out there when it's like 2 degrees and 3 foot of snow on the ground, no clothes, and they're throwing snow.
Bills Mafia was being paid $20 an hour to go out and shovel, get drunk, and they were literally sliding around on like these huge slides. These massive like slides
in the stadium
with no clothes on
to push the snow.
And it's 10 degrees outside with 4 feet of snow on the ground.
I'm telling you, bro.
I love it. I absolutely love you, Western New Yorkers. I love all you upstate New Yorkers. You guys are absolute bosses. That's all I'm going to say.
fan base on point, bro. Bills. Shout out to Bills Mafia.
Bills Mafia. Yeah, and then you got Dolphins Mafia, who shows up to Kansas City and just freezes.
Bro, they did not want to tackle at all.
Oh, bro, it's too cold, man. It's way too cold.
Like, yeah, did you see the Mahomes thing?
Yeah.
I mean, it was so cold that it cracked his helmet.
Dude, I seen a funny meme the other day, and it was Travis Mahomes, or not Travis Mahomes.
Travis Mahomes.
Dude, I got up early this morning, all right?
Travis Mahomes.
You had Patty out there with his broken helmet, and it showed a picture of a bat. Well, I'm not going to name the name. And they're like, don't they look two in the same? It was a composite bat that had a big old crack in it, and then his helmet. I won't go there because I'm not going to shout that out, but you could probably find it on Google. It was hilarious.
He's probably listening to a bad Taylor song, and his helmet just couldn't take it.
There's no such thing.
I'm so over this.
I tend to agree, bro. I'm a huge Swiftie.
Let's go. Come on.
I mean, it's great, but it's like it's so carried away now. Like
I will say it's too much when every single time he catches a pass, it goes to her.
And then they clip to one and like she's dancing in the booth, and I'm like, bro, ain't nobody dancing in negative 30-degree weather.
So what do you mean? She's not in negative.
I mean,
she's a multi-millionaire. She's probably in the nicest.
I mean, that suite
in the
probably,
entire
bro. That suite was still cold.
Hold up, I need to remember my lines. Hold up. My cue's coming up. I'll remember it.
Let's go! Attaboy, RAC.
This is how you know he has more freedom now. Because we couldn't get him to do it.
Gigi be in the background. What are you doing, Robert?
We couldn't get him to do a dance at all in Cali.
No, dude.
My man comes to Savannah, turns into a country boy, and starts dancing on command.
Dude, that's literally tonight. Tonight we have a team meeting at a local country bar, and we're just going to do country line dancing. Like, that's a official team meeting tonight.
Absolutely love that. And if you don't have cowboy boots on rack, we're going to have a conversation.
We might have to have a conversation. I don't have any.
He's gonna have on New Balances.
Can we DoorDash that, man? Can you DoorDash something like cowboy boots? What size are you, Rack?
And a cowboy hat.
Send you my address. I should send it to you anyways.
Best pair of boots ever. Yeah, you got to send me. Actually, you do have to send me your address because I got to send you some cool stuff.
Sounds good to me. I'm always down for cool stuff.
What size shoe are you? I just want to make sure for the turfs.
Yeah. 12. For the turfs, yeah.
What size cowboy New Balances do you wear?
It's for the New Balance turfs that we sell at headbangersports.com.
Which I actually could use some more of, by the way.
I got you, bro.
I know you do.
They'll come with spurs and a pointed toe.
Yes.
Honestly, I could wear them to the field.
Oh, bro. I'm gonna have. Oh, they got those yellow, like the big cowboy hats that look like a banana.
Yeah.
I got it. The whole Prince Charming thing. You know, they come in on their white knight horse. All he's got to do is get some cowboy boots turned into turf shoes.
New Balance. We're gonna need some customs, bro.
Some custom alligator skin.
We're gonna need some customs.
Hook us up.
We need some custom ostrich skin.
I just want everybody to remember that we claimed all of Rack's tickets for the Miami game.
All of them.
Don't ever forget that.
Yeah, no, I got it written down, guys. We're all set.
All 49.
I was like, he paused for a second. He's like, yeah, I already gave those away.
I already gave them away.
All 40 of them.
All right, so before I forget, Jesse wants us to shout out the winner. Okay, so tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of submissions, by the way. I love the scavenger hunt idea. It seems like pretty much everybody did it. They're pretty easily, I guess they found it. I mean, it was kind of funny because like most people were like, oh, I'm just going to put Rack Taught Me in the comments. And then, we're going to go follow Headbangers and follow them because that's like the normal thing to do. But all you had to do was click on the link tree.
Yep. Home now.
For those of you that don't know what a link tree is, now you know. And
that's
believe also though, on that link tree, there might be a discount at headbangersports.com and it might have something to do with like Cruise 23. So if you utilize Cruise 23 on that link tree, you may save yourself 10% off at headbangersports.com.
I think you may be right.
Give us like 6 months and we'll be selling custom cowboy boots on there too.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. I love that.
Yeah, I'll wear them on the field. They'll let me wear anything, dude. So
I mean, if they're gonna let somebody wear like stilts, then I'd imagine they let you wear cowboy boots. Now, I'm not sure how that would feel on a baseball field. I don't know. I don't think you'd appreciate that.
So have you been training at third base?
Oh no, hold on. We still have to shout this.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so winner. I got him right here. Marisol Jimenez. I said that correctly because I'm Mexican. I am half. My last name's Cruz. Remember that. And both my parents speak very good Spanish.
Is this the way you said it?
What is going on this morning, bro? What is going on this morning?
I would say I'm not usually up this early, but I am for this podcast. The winner is Marisol Jimenez. And I did some research. I believe she has 3 boys who play baseball. So they're going to have to fight over that old hype fire. But yeah, appreciate all you guys who entered. It was cool seeing all the comments come through. And as always, we really appreciate you guys. And that was cool getting to do that. I enjoyed it a lot.
We're going to have to chat about the 3 boys because you can't give 1 bat to 3 kids in a family. It can't happen.
What about a jersey, though? Don't y'all have some extra stuff that you can sign?
I think we're gonna hook this up, bro. I think we're gonna take care of the kids.
I think that's a good idea. We'll talk after this.
If you have multiple kids, like they can't fight over 1 bat. I mean, it's just funny. Did you see the video the other day of the? I can't remember exactly what channel it is, but they were talking about his son going into playing travel baseball and how bats are $390. It's just to watch their kids strike out. And instead of like one kid having a $390 bat and striking out and just passing on to the next kid come up with his $390 bat. Oh, and all the coaches have embroidered backpacks and all the teams have embroidered backpacks and everything's custom from, turfs to head to toe, which you can all do at Headbanger Sports, by the way. We do all custom apparel. But it was hilarious the way that he was kind of going through, and I'll have to tag it in the comments. I'll find it. Somebody will show or share the video for us, I'm sure. I think it was,
Dude, was it a podcast episode?
It was. Jabari Johnson.
Are you secretly hoping they don't get good enough to make the travel team? I mean, I'm into it now, but it's a little much. And the cost of it is, my son got his own bat. They all have their own bat. It's like, you've seen 3 good pitches all year. Price your bat, $390. And why can't you hand it to the next kid when you're done striking out with it? We have $4,000 worth of bats in the dugout. We have 2 hits.
So I feel that, right? I mean, I definitely get that as a parent. And they're like, so are you excited about going into travel baseball? And he's like, I mean, I'm all in now. I got a $390 bat. I have to be all in. So we salute you, travel baseball parents. We salute every bit that you do for your kids. And thank you for putting food on the table for my wife and my son because,
thank you.
Baseball is hey, look, somebody has to sell them, and it might as well be somebody with good customer service going to take care of you, right? So you might as well buy your bats at headbangersports.com and use code CRUISE23. So
now, absolutely.
I think that's enough shouting out today. We're going to go away from the go away from the ads all day.
Dude, that video is awesome, though. I saw that on TikTok.
Definitely going to put a link to this because it's the sports influencer. I mean, I think at least that's the real. I'm not sure if that's him or if it's just the actual channel that I've seen it on and somebody was copying it over, but it seems like but he's got some good stuff. I was going through some of his videos, and this, most of the videos only had 457 views or whatever, and then this one hit 4.8 million.
Because it struck a chord.
It struck a chord, yeah.
So we get it, man. Yeah, I mean, parents, you do, especially in Little League, Little League bats, people come in here all the time, and they're like, man, I need a bat for my kid. I need a bat for my kid. And I'm like, well, they come in and they swing the bat, and we're like, I think we need to drop down to a lower model bat. You don't really need a $350 bat. Let's learn how to swing first, and then we'll go that direction. Then you got the other kids that come in here and they're like, I just want, $150, $200 bat. And they got strokes that are we're going pro at 10 years old. So it's such a difference in Little League and watching a lineup from top to bottom. And I coached Little League for 4 years.
Yeah, we actually had a guy come in on Friday. Same thing. Came here for ADV. And he ended up leaving with a ADV 1.
Oh, that's a great bat, though.
But it was more for the swing.
Yeah.
It's his son just couldn't handle that drop 10 yet.
Let me ask. I have to ask because a lot of people, we've been talking kind of a lot. Somebody actually asked me yesterday, and they said, I'm a huge fan of bat speed. What's your take on it? Do you go lower as a drop? Do you go lower weighting? Or do you kind of, stay with the age group and whatever else? And obviously, my actual response to him was, hey, if you're 7 and 8 years old and you're worried about drop sizing, you're worried about the wrong thing. Get your kid having fun at 7 and 8 years old. You get into 9, 10, 11, you start worrying about drops, you start worrying about sizing, you start worrying about that kind of stuff. But for now, if you're just starting into Little League or you're starting into travel baseball, get yourself something that's comfortable, that you're going to be able to get up at the plate and feel confident with and go that direction. As you progress through the levels and the age groups, you got to remember you go from, 13, 14 being able to swing a drop 8, drop 5. And then all of a sudden you get into middle school and high school baseball and you got to swing a BB Corp bat. Well, yeah. That's a big difference in sizing. And if you're not ready for that drop and you get it, not only are you going up to a big field to have to use a BB Corp bat, but the field doubles in size almost, right?
Yeah.
So those lazy pop flies that are 200 feet that go out on a travel field, at 12U, you go to a 12U game and it's dinger, 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 dinger. We had 9 or 10 in one game, our last 12U season. And it was fun to watch. But they get to that big field and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, those are outs. Those are outs.
Yeah, that's exactly it, dude. When you're younger, have fun with it, dude. No, there's never been a college or professional scout that cares at all about what 8U, 10U, even 11U, 12U looks like. And so, yeah, at those ages, just have a good time. You really can't go wrong with what. Obviously, it helps to have a bat that's sized right, and I wouldn't recommend anything too heavy or anything like that, obviously. But just get close to the right size, and you're good. And then when you get to right before high school, that's when you got to start making an adjustment, because you have to use a drop 3 in high school, and if you're going straight from a drop 8 or drop 10, it's like, oh, you should probably get a drop 5 before that. Get closer as you're 13, and that way when you're 14, 15, you're ready for the drop 3. But I couldn't agree more. Once you get up in high school, and it's like, yeah, you want to make sure you really got the size you need, because your performance does matter then. Like, if you want to play in college, they do care how you do in high school. But yeah, I couldn't agree more with what you said.
I will say though, that is like the one weight like that makes no sense to me.
What?
The drop 5.
Why?
I mean, because majority of the time, most kids use a drop 5 for 1 year.
Well, it is. It's literally a transition bat. Right? A drop 5 is a transition from a drop 8 to a drop 5 to a drop 3. So it kind of eliminates, like, you got to think, man, so many people swing a drop 10. I literally was watching 12, 13-year-old kids swinging drop 10s.
I feel like there should be just a bigger transition, though. Like, I feel like one season with a drop 5 and then into a BB core, that's like a huge difference.
I agree. But you got to think, these kids are going through puberty at that point too. So like, you go through puberty and you start gaining. I mean, not everybody, obviously, but the majority of them start to develop and get bigger and stronger. And then you hit a 300-foot field when you've been on a 200-foot field. And again, like, it's a huge difference, man. And you can tell, like, we had kids that were strong enough to swing a drop 5 at 12 and 13, and they did. And the performance coming off of the bat compared to like a drop 10 or a drop 8 is significant. And a lot of people are the opposite direction. They're like, well, I want my kid to swing the lightest bat in the world, because when they're facing, better pitching, I want to be able to keep up. And I'm like, that's not how it goes. It doesn't. You can swing a BB core bat and have a better timing and have a better connection point than getting to a drop 10 and swinging, against a faster pitcher, because you're just going to struggle as you get older.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
Sometimes the faster your hands are, it could throw off your mechanics too.
100%. I definitely agree with that.
Like, there's a reason for swinging a certain weight, because it keeps everything in line. So
I have to know, Rack, did you just take the jacket off because the heater kicked on? Or
yes, it did. The heater kicked on like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, you're Mexican and all. So, like, are you taking your shirt off next? Or?
Yeah. Here we go.
So are we gonna call you Roberto? Antonio Cruz?
Totally.
Yeah, Roberto Antonio.
Again, like, parents, if you're out there and you are listening, I don't know how many parents actually listen to this. If you're a young kid getting into baseball, now there's going to be a difference in some of the competitive levels of travel baseball at 7-8U, which is crazy to me, to have a World Series of coach pitch. Sure. But if the kids love it, then let them have a blast, right? Like, the competitive nature is still there, and if they're good enough to enjoy it, then that's great. If you're pushing your kid to go play coach pitch competitively, then you might need to look in the mirror and realize that it's not your life, it's your kid's life. But at that age, let your kid be comfortable. Let them swing a bat that is comfortable to them. It doesn't have to be a $250, $300 bat, $400 bat. As much as I'd love to sell you one, I'd rather you come back in 2 years and buy the correct bat that's going to be $400 or $500. It'll last you a couple extra years because it's the right size, it's properly weighted. Once we get this new facility, it's going to be awesome, because we'll be able to bring kids in, size them up, do demo videos and show kind of kids sizing, like, hey, this is how you properly size a kid. Like, you see all these charts, and we have a chart on our website too, and it's a basic kind of general, like, starting point. But that is just a starting point. Like, you need to actually have a comfort zone in your actual swing and be comfortable with what's good for your swing. So if you're not out there kind of sizing or trying bats out, I think you're kind of at a disadvantage. So, like, Better Baseball in Georgia, which is down the road from you guys, they're great guys up there. They have the same thing, like, in their shop. Like, you can go in and they have every bat under the sun, and you can try every one out in their cages and, get the right size properly fitted. And that was kind of the general direction that we've always wanted to go since we started HP, for the most part, and started bringing baseball and fast pitch in. And to have that now coming, it's like pure excitement from all of us. Like, we want to have kids come in, try a bat out, make sure they're sized properly, and then go to the field happy and knowing that they're comfortable in their, in the bat that they have. So get out there, try the bats out. If you can't find a spot, you can always fly down to, Palm City, Florida, and check out the hitting facility that we're going to have in the back here.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be amazing. I'm really excited. The colorway is super cool to me, man. What is
the show sponsored by Headbanger Sports? Just shouted out another baseball company in Georgia.
It did.
That shows you there's enough for everyone to eat, people.
Dude, there is.
Just go to the good ones.
There is. Go to the right ones. Like there's companies that we talk to on a daily basis for the most part that are out there that are our competitors, and then there's other ones that
just sit on our website all day
in New York and can kick rocks for all I care. But there's guys that are out there that are great. Better Baseball being one of them. They go out of their way to make sure that their customers are happy up there. So shout out Better Baseball. I'll give you some love. And in the same sense, like they're actually helping us with our whole setup, like our whole netting and everything. So we're in the process now. Everything's signed, good to go. February 1, Mike's been on a warpath trying to get everything set up for the most part.
Nightmare.
So there's 3 big different warehouses that are all combined into one, and every one of them has a separate address. So trying to figure out pickups and where we're going to have things delivered and all that good stuff it's a pain in the ass. So it'll be worth it in the end. February 1, I think we go.
Yeah, Thursday.
1? Yeah,
Thursday night we'll start packing up, and Friday the move starts, and hopefully we're done by Saturday night so we can enjoy Sunday and come into Monday to Hell Week.
It's like hell 2 months, but it's going to be worth it. I mean, the actual facility probably won't be done until, say, June, maybe July.
Yeah, June, July.
It'll be just in time for that good summer Florida heat where everybody wants to hit the AC, because these cages will be AC'd, so that'll be even way gooder. Yeah, man. You bring, any of those big guys that want to come over, any pros out there that might be listening, swing in. We want to get your picture, man. Like, we want to get a picture with you guys in the facility, and like the thought of how this is all going to be designed out. We're not going to really put it out there now, but I think it's going to be sick.
I think it's going to be sick.
Not just the actual like facility itself, but like the storefront is being designed differently than anything that we've seen. We're going to have like our own little podcast room in the back, which is going to be like more soundproof and ready to go. So like it'll be a little more professional.
Is it going to be a retail space? It's going to be the dugout.
It's going to be the dugout. I mean, why else not? You might be able to shop all these cool limited edition fielding gloves. Especially like the thing that we've been trying to get for years and years. And shout out Billy Bosley, one of our owners up in Virginia, who will be moving down here soon. But he's been on our Wilson rep for the last 5 years since we started to get the glove of the month. But
glove of the month,
since we didn't have a storefront, you can't get a glove of the month. Well, guess what? We have a storefront, so we got the glove of the month. They won't be on the website. You'll have to buy them in the store. But we're gonna have our glove wall is gonna be absolutely insane.
Because the problem is they're not. There'll be like one for sale out of the 3 we get.
Yeah, because they're all gonna go up in my house. I have a little bit of a glove fetish. Apparently, I like fielding gloves.
He does. I mean,
it's a weird thing to say,
can't
but
even see it, but
yeah,
he's got a little shrine behind his.
I've got like 10 gloves and I can't get enough of them, dude.
I want to see. Do you have your Savannah one?
It hasn't came in yet. I was a little sad. Everybody on the team got their gloves on Monday, and then like a couple of us didn't get ours in yet. So I'm one of those people, unfortunately.
Womp womp womp.
You get there, you're all excited. I get my glove. I mean, the worst part is you're gonna have to break it in.
I know.
Is ASO coming? Is ASO coming to do your glove thing or no? Do you know who ASO is?
No.
Oh my God.
Listen, you're a Wilson Evo Shield guy now, being on the field with the bananas. All right. Obviously you have your other stuff off the field, but on the field, it's Evo Shield Wilson, and ASO is
like he's like the glove god.
He's the glove god. Like literally, if you ever search it, if you ever want to find a way to break in a glove, do the ASO glove method on YouTube. I don't use the water, but he does, and the guy knows gloves better than anybody else, so I'm guessing it's safe. I prefer that route over going and putting in a steamer and steaming your glove. I think that's a terrible idea. Yes, it breaks it in, but it's not good for your glove. Don't do that. Any glove that you buy at Headbanger Sports, I will send you a link for free to their YouTube page. Won't cost me a dime, but I'll send it to you guys. and you can watch him break in a glove and just follow that kind of path because Aso's awesome, and he does some of him and Ryan. I don't know Ryan's last name, but Ryan Smith.
Yep.
So Ryan Smith, I think, is one of the guys that does all the designing, and the stuff that they've been able to do on their gloves this year has been insane. So I think you're going to see a lot of progression in like the custom side of things on the Wilsons, especially from us. It's the same on Rawlings. Like Rawlings is doing a great job now. Even Marucci's just came out with that the duck.
Yeah, I mean, even like there's some of the other gloves, like the Hot Wheels glove and.
It's crazy what people can do.
The off-white glove.
And then you got companies like Aria who won't even respond to me. At least give me a call, bro. Like, let's do this. Like, we want to sell your gloves, man. You guys have some sick stuff. Give me a call. Shout it out.
But I tell you, the other day I designed a custom Nakona on their website.
How much?
It's like $4,000.
$4,000?
$4,000.
Like 4,000?
Yeah.
What?
You can put legit diamonds on it.
Well, it better have diamonds if it's $4,000.
Like in, like the little Nakona. Well, the little Nakona diamond, the little diamond. Yeah. You can get it encrusted with diamonds.
What carat?
I don't know. I was just picking every expensive option I could to see how high I can get. It was like $3,900, and I was like, "There's zero shot."
Bro, there's some like 10-year-old playing coach pitch USSSA World Series right now using a $4,000 Nakona diamond glove.
100%.
Like it's out there. 100%.
Out there.
Somebody's out there.
I mean, if it's on the website, somebody's bought it.
It's out there.
I'm just saying.
I went to the Dominican this last week. My wife and I just went for like a trip by ourselves. It was amazing. Dude, the amount of baseball fields I drove by, the kids all rocking like Dominican baseball shirts. Like the pride in the Dominican is legit for their baseball teams.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I almost pulled the trigger on a couple T-shirts, but they were like cheap T-shirts. I didn't really want another cheap T-shirt. If it was like a nice dry fit, I'd have balled out on that thing and bought all of them. But you want to know why baseball is so good and Dominicans are so good at baseball? It's because they live the life with the perfect weather in the world and then play baseball year round. So
and like pretty much every MLB team has invested in the DR. So
absolutely.
They have training facilities over there for them kids as soon as they're,
Dude, there was literally a commercial. I couldn't understand anything because unlike RAC, I'm not Mexican and I don't understand half of what they say.
Well, they're Dominican.
But I do. Yeah, but they still speak Spanish.
It's a different type of Spanish.
It's pretty similar.
Yeah. Like there's like different types.
I mean, I can
different.
still communicate though. Yeah, I mean, like I know like the basic minimum.
There's like just different words mean different things.
Huh. Well, then I probably was a little idiotic then for some of the stuff that I was saying because I was just Google translating whatever I had to when I needed it. And,
well, you were probably right. But
I mean, they gave me love for trying, right? Like most of the people there, like it was weird because like this is the first place I've ever gone that like I literally, if you heard somebody speaking in English, it was like out of the ordinary. So like for my wife and I, it was amazing. Like we just sat on the beach and didn't do anything but drink mojitos and relax. But we, looking around and like as you're coming in, like baseball field, it's awesome. So, but they had a commercial rolling through when I was watching the Bills game. And it was literally like an institution for kids in sports. Like that's what it was. So I couldn't understand really what they were saying, but you could see like all the kids playing and then them going to like all dressed up in prep school stuff.
So speaking of that,
that's probably all they do. They don't even do schooling over there.
Speaking of that, Tuesday I was at Caden's practice, and the training facility he goes to is opening an academy in September, where it's a school and soccer training facility, almost like IMG, but just for soccer only. And they want him to come there.
Let's go.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Do it. I'm all about it. Look, it depends. So this is the thing. I just talked to somebody last night. They actually are transferring schools because they weren't happy with their current situation, and they wanted to give them a little bit better of a chance to play, football or whatnot. And one of the things he said he went to a college football camp, and they asked him for his tape. But he hasn't played in the last couple of years. So like, bless you, if you are like dreaming of going, like if that's your job, like your dream is to go play college football or college baseball or whatever it may be, and you're not playing on your high school team, you might want to go somewhere different, even if it's a worse team that you're going to get more playing time if that's an option to you. I've talked to Landon about everything. He loves his place. He's not going anywhere. He doesn't want to transfer. But like other kids are talking about transferring because they're not getting the playing time. And while I understand at the same time, I think there's pros and cons to that, especially at that young age, to be able to like I want to change schools. I want to change life, new friends, new place, new, everything. But if that's your goal and you need tape to go to play college anywhere, you need somebody to see you play, you got to make a change, right? So shout out to you, man. Good luck. I hope everything works out for you. Anybody that's going down that road, like, I feel for you, because it's a different scenario. Like, we didn't have the option to do that crap when we were kids.
Yeah, like when they approach me with it, and it's weird. It's like it's like academics for like 2 hours, and then they do like training for an hour, academics for 2 hours, training for an hour. It's the way it's set up, and I was like, I mean, how do you get all your credits that you need for schooling and then still do soccer during the day? So
I mean, there's homeschool programs that do that stuff too, though. Like, that's what RAC did.
It's essentially like a homeschool program, but just an academy for soccer. And because I guess in Caden's in 6th grade, it's going to 7th grade, but their class has, if there's 50-something kids that train there, there's probably 35 or 40 of them that are all in Caden's class. Like, they have like their own little clique at lunch.
Yeah,
like it's just a soccer clique. But
so I have to ask, how much is it?
Yeah. So because there's these grants in Florida, the way it's set up, it's free.
Really?
That's sweet.
So basically,
I can promise you ain't going to IMG for free unless you're an absolute stud.
Well, I need to get more details about it. I literally just had a conversation, a fast one. They brung it up to me and asked for them to come, and they told me about it. And but yeah, apparently there's grants you can fill out for, and they basically pay the academy, and then the kids just come for free.
That's awesome.
So, and of course, I got to talk to the wife, and
I think it's time we do a baseball academy.
Yeah, HB, dude, sign me up, man.
Do it. Let's go.
Instructor.
Yeah, we'll add it to the time that you have on the side.
Yeah. All the extra time I got. Yeah, that sounds good.
What's your schedule like in August? Are y'all still playing by then?
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, we'll still have a couple months of play from then, or I guess like a month and a half.
I'm just trying to figure out because if we can get a few of the boys down in the Buick to drive down for Savannah for the grand opening and do a dance in the new facility, that'd be pretty dope.
We can make that happen on an off day. Like I would love to. I would love to go hit in a batting cage with some cool bats and hang out with you guys. Maybe round a golf or something. That sounds like a great time to me.
I'm not gonna lie though. I really want to come to the game in DC.
Do it, dude.
I feel like that's a great game for you.
I think that one would be a cool one.
DC is amazing. Have you ever been there?
RAC's homecoming to Nats Park.
Yes.
That's so funny. I mean, took the shortcut to get there.
It's not really a shortcut. I mean, you worked your ass off to get to where you are, so don't ever say that you shorted yourself. I think you've earned everything that you've gotten. People say that stuff to us all the time. Well, you hit it at the right time. You did this, you did that. Screw that, bro. We worked our asses off to get to where we are.
Yeah.
And we continue to work our asses off every day. So people don't realize what it takes to hit your dreams. And if that's what you really want, you got to work, man.
Yeah.
Just make sure when you step to third base, you have your sign that says RAC's Corner. Maybe on the back put, they cut me. But or actually no, just take a sign and put they cut me, and then have it turned around and say, but I sold out their stadium.
That's good. They actually haven't sold out a game since they won the World Series.
Listen, they won the World Series because
they do sell out when the Yankees and Red Sox come to town.
They do, exactly. I was going to say, because I've actually bought tickets to the Yankees, and like when the Yankees went there, I went every time we went. But me and Corbin actually bought tickets, and that park is amazing, by the way. It's a beautiful park.
It's awesome. Always sit in the Miller Lite section. Always.
Really?
Always.
I sit right on the first base line. I'm bougie like that.
Well, when the Sox were there, I sat in the away dugout. Those were expensive, but
yeah, bet the Nats side was cheap though.
Oh yeah. So
they're just catching strays today.
RAC taught me.
RAC taught me. Yeah.
Hashtag RAC taught me. But that's how Camden Yards used to be too, though.
Not being able to sell out.
Well, no. Like when the Yankees and Red Sox came in, it turned into Fenway South.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, Yankee Stadium South.
Bronx, baby.
Now it's a little different though because they got they're winning, so they got a little bit of a fan base now. They had a stat the other day. I'm a Tampa Bay Bucks fan, so don't discriminate.
Only when they're winning.
I'm a Bucks fan all the time. We normally lose, so there's that. I'm used to it. But our fans, like our fan base is terrible. Like, how do you have a playoff game and you can hear Eagles fans chanting on TV?
Well, they weren't chanting long, so.
Well, I mean, for a minute. But either way, I mean, it was great after watching them be all upset.
Yeah.
You see the one fan that threw popcorn at Sirianni?
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I feel so bad for. I don't know what happened to that Eagles team. I don't know how you go from 10-1 to just falling apart, but something internally had to happen for that to happen. Because if you're playing like that at the top of your game to just all of a sudden fall off, there's some kind of cancer in that on that field.
Something's going on.
There's something going on there in that organization. And that Eagles fans are just, I don't know, man. Then you got Bills fans out there in the negative 10 degrees with no T-shirts on, loving life, no matter if they're winning or losing.
I'm gonna read
throwing
this
snowballs just to get into their seats.
I'm gonna read the best quote that I've seen from the Eagles game. You can bleep me out. This will be explicit. It's not my comment though.
I know what you're talking about.
Lane Johnson. Sometimes you go out there and fuck around and find out. And we found
out. That's a good quote, though.
Best comment I've seen yet.
It is a good quote.
Best comment I've seen.
Listen, I just feel bad for Jason Kelce. I really do. I think he wanted that ring before he rolled.
We got
out of
one.
there. Yeah, but it's not the same. He could have had it.
I mean, he got a ring though.
Kelce?
Yeah.
When? Did I miss something?
The year after.
When they lost to Kansas City?
No, they won. They won the one they with Big Dick Nick.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Because he had the great speech.
Yep, I forgot about that.
And it was a year after Kelce
Carson Wentz went out and Nick.
Because it was a year after Travis won.
Okay. Yep. You're right.
And they had the big old parade.
Yeah, but for
thing.
2-3 years now, they've had the opportunity to win like back to back.
I mean, they were good.
Letdowns. Anyway, it happens. Happens to the best of them. Obviously.
But you know what's great now? He retired, and I'll have to never see another Philly shove again.
That's not true because they're going to figure something out there. That's 100% going to happen.
Well, the last one they did got stopped in Tampa on a face mask call, but we're not going to talk about that.
Big Samoan dude.
It wasn't even the Samoan.
That's a big dude.
It was the other guy. It was Gaines that got underneath Kelce, which blew it up.
Well,
but yeah, shout out to my Bucks.
Go Giants. All we do is cheer for the draft every year.
That's not true. Last year y'all made the playoffs, and y'all got a win in the playoffs.
Yep. It happens once in a while, I guess.
y'all just have some issues to work out at quarterback. Why did y'all give it a wink?
I don't know. They got to put the blame on somebody,
I guess. All right, go ahead. You can carry on.
All right, Rack, we know you got to get to practice. It's early morning. It looks like you're all warmed up now. You got your coffee in you. We woke you up with the, early morning jams. So one more time.
One more time.
Just
It's even sunnier there now too.
I'm gonna learn this dance, and when we open up for the new warehouse, we're going to do this dance for Rack.
I'll have a bunch more dances to go with it by then, I'm sure.
Come on, Ice Spice. I see you
Let's
over
go,
there.
Prince.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There you go. The Prince.
The Prince is here. Let's get
Tonio.
together at some point in time. We have a couple things to discuss about the Little League thing. And then let's get them two kids taken care of somehow, one way or the other. Especially if you're listening to this, shout us out. We'll take care of you guys. Thanks for tuning in to Beyond the Fences. Beyond the Fence.
Singular.
And we'll see you next week.